Alright, so when doing a Fantastic Four review, there are only two ways I can go about this. One, I can do the extremely overused and cliche, it's fantastic, say that again, all that. But even though the movie was fantastic, I don't want to do that because it's lazy as all hell, and I'll be damned if I don't provide the best possible quality for all my fans, all 20 of you. So, in order to be a complete lazy bomb, I'm going to do the complete opposite route. I'm going to do my review of the Fantastic Four First Steps without using the word fantastic. Now, I hear you going, now why would you do that? It's just a silly word. You don't need to do all that. I don't give a fuck in the first place. And to that, I say, well, YouTube likes to tell me all of my analytics, and one of them is my watch time. And for those of you who live under a rock, this means YouTube tells me on average how much of my video people watch before they click off. And my watch time numbers are low. Like so low, they're hanging out in Subterranea with Mole Man and his silly glasses. So, by doing an unscripted review where I don't say the word fantastic, I have a hook. A hook in that keeps you wanting to watch for longer. Or maybe you just don't care and to click off. And to you, I say, well, I say nothing because in order to insult my audience, I need to have an audience to begin with. Anywho, I'm going to do my review completely off the top of my goddamn head and not use the word fantastic. And to those of you who call bullshit and say it's scripted, well, you are half right. Everything I've said up until this point has been scripted. I drafted this little baby up last night when I should have been sleeping, because who the fuck needs sleep? But everything after this, minus a couple of sentences, will completely off script. So yeah, I hope that little bit of transparency validates my credibility. And if you still don't believe me, well then, what do you want me to do? Fucking Samara myself through the computer and pinky promise you? I ain't no goddamn supernatural being. You just have to trust me. So, without further ado, here is my unscripted review of the Fantastic Four First Steps without saying the word fantastic. So, in general, I loved the movie. I thought it was great. The director, Matt Shackman, was the one who did WandaVision. And even though I don't love that show as much as everyone else loves that show, he's still a very talented director. And the directing, the world is one of the absolute best parts. Setting it in its own universe was a stroke of genius because we get it's almost like a throwback film back to when before cinematic universe, like we're stuck with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films, where these are the only heroes, the four are the only heroes in this universe, and it was just kind of nice seeing a return to that kind of filmmaking. Um, and the retro futuristic, like it was so cool seeing all these buildings and the cars and stuff. It was something I've never seen before. And I mean, we're 2025, so there's been a lot of comic book properties. So seeing something like this that was so refreshing and new was a real treat to see. The main cast were all absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna go through each of the four, tell you what I thought of them. Starting with Pedro Pascal. Now, a lot of people were clowning on Pedro when he was first cast. I went to see it. There was four of us in total, and good majority of them were, no, Pedro's gonna be weird, and they're not gonna like Pedro. And I was sitting there like, nope, no, nope, you guys didn't eat your words. I'm of the opinion that sure, it would be nice if they look like it, but it really comes down to the performance. Sure, Pedro doesn't exactly look like Reed, but if he acts like him and he does a good job, I'm gonna be perfectly fine with it. And hot diggity dog, did he do good? I loved him as Reed so much. He played off the family man really well, but he also had that really smart, intelligent factor that Reed has, where he's burdened with his knowledge and he's always trying to figure out a solution and he's being logical. And it was all done so well. Invisible Woman, Sue Storm, I was really liking what she did. Vanessa Kirby is such a great actress. Almost said it. Vanessa Kirby is such a great actress, and she did such a good job pulling off all the different facets of the Invisible Woman, from the kind, caring role, and then the motherly with Franklin. And she gets a really great speech that she has. She gives it in the Baxter Building, what you'll call it, and it's a great speech. It's a highlight of the film, and it really showed me why um, she was such a great pick. And uh, I loved like the use that they give of her powers near the end. If you know, you know. But it really shows like why Stooge is more than turn invisible. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Joseph freaking Quinn, the one I was most excited for. Johnny's definitely my favorite member of the four, and I've been a humongous fan of Joseph Quinn ever since Stranger Things, saw him in Gladiator, all that. He is a phenomenal actor, and his Johnny, oh my god, I loved him so much as Johnny. He's definitely got the traditional Johnny isms. I mean, he's got the Playboy, all that, but they do something really interesting with him, and I won't spoil what it is, but you get to show off this intelligence that Johnny has. I mean, he's nowhere near as intelligent as Reed, but he's not just a big dumb idiot in this movie. Like the Chris Evans version, I love that version, but at the same time, it is a little annoying where it's like he's just stupid, and I'm just like, okay, why in the world would he be invited along this crew? Like this Johnny is smart. I can see why they would want him on the crew, to go in space and get the powers and all that. Um, and oh my gosh, I loved him. And there's a this thing he does in like the first 5 minutes that was just epic. Oh my god. I loved him so much. I thought he was an amazing Human Torch. And Evan Moss Baccarum as a thing, they did an interesting route with the thing where like traditionally they portray the thing as like he's the one that doesn't like his powers. He's the one that's the rock monster. He hates his appearance and all that. And you know, I thought what they did with him, where he's like, he accepts it. He actually enjoys it. Like, he just casually is walking down Yancey Street, lifting cars and stuff. Like, this thing is not ashamed of who he is. And I thought that was a really interesting take. And I really dug it. His voice was great. Um, I do think when he gets to say his iconic line, I'm not going to say where it is. I do think I could have used a little more like gruffer, a little angrier. He does say it a little smoother. Um, that was my only real nitpick, but the CGI on him was great. I mean, it looked amazing. Um, what should we call it? So yeah, all of the main members of the four were all perfectly cast. I mean, they were all amazing. Let's talk about some of the other stuff. Let's like um the fact that the origin story was skipped over. Um, Another film like Superman where they give you hints to his origin, but this is not an origin story. They don't waste your time. I mean, where other fuck, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. I said Fant. I almost said it. I'm almost gotta make it through. Anywho, well, other of the films in the series spend the first hour or so dedicated to them getting their powers and learning. This they jump you right in the middle of the action with a whole like montage of them fighting classic villains, which they do have the apes, but John Malkovich's Red Ghost is not on there, which is sad. I would have liked to see them, but I just I love this world that they created, and I love that it was not tied down by MCU lore and all that. It was great. I really loved it. Let's talk about the villains. So there's two villains in this one. You got Shalabal Silver Surfer, which I mean there was a lot of hate she was getting because she's a woman, I guess. But I thought Julia Garner did great. CGI was amazing. Um, to call it. And the voice, she had a great voice, and she got a couple really great action scenes, especially the space chase. I'm gonna say space chase. That action scene was amazing, and Galactus. Oh my goodness, Galactus! From going to Big Fart Cloud Galactus to comic accurate Galactus. Ooh, was amazing. Now he isn't very developed per se. I mean, they just get little hints as to his motivation and why he wants Franklin. But I mean, I didn't really care. I mean, it's friggin' Galactus. He's hungry. He eats food. He wants planets. End of story. And oh my goodness, Ralph Ineson. I think it's Ineson. Um, he had such a great voice for him, and I like that. In some shots, it was actually they had an actual suit and they did miniature, and that scene, like when he gets to Earth, like you've seen it bits and pieces in the trailers, but wow, was that scene amazing, and it looked so real, looked so practical, which was such a big plus. I had like the CGI, um, parts of Franklin looked a little weird. I mean, I guess because the laws concerning babies are I mean, I imagine there's lots of rules and stuff, all that. So you can't really have an infant, so you gotta do CGI baby. And it was unsettling in a couple shots. Other than that, the CGI for the most part looked great. I, like the battle, the final battle and all that was great. There is something that happens with one of the four members, and Franklin. I'm not gonna say it's towards the end. If you know, you know. But that scene, like, I felt like an asshole, but I started laughing in the back because it was just so utterly absurd and ridiculous. I get it's comic accurate. I get it makes sense, like that character would be able to do that to the other character, but it was kinda ridiculous, not gonna lie, like, I was cracking up in that theater, I felt like such a jerk. I mean, it wasn't just me, another one of the friends that I was with, she was dying too, but I don't know, it was low-key kinda hilarious, not gonna lie. Um, what else? Post-credit scene. There's two post-credit scenes. There's one that's like the mid credits, and then one at the very end. The one at the end is just like a callback to an earlier joke. Not big. And then the first one, I'm so fucking pissed. I got it spoiled like a week ago. Watching a video, Avengers Doomsday plot theory slash leak, and they were like blah blah blah. And there's aligns perfectly from the leak post credit scene of Fantastic Four where blah 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 happens. Like, God damn it! Like, come on, that's not fair. And I was like, maybe it's not real, maybe it's not real. And then I saw an article like Wednesday or I can't remember what it was, but it pretty much confirmed that post credit scene that I had spoiled was the actual post credit scene. And lo and behold, it was, and it's definitely a big one. Avoid spoilers if you can. I'm not gonna spoil it because I hate when people spoil it, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you. What you call it? And I do definitely want to create a spoiler review, which I'm going to do that a little later, where I talk about my thoughts on that post credit scene because there's a lot we can draw from it. It's not a very long post credit scene, but there's a lot that we can draw from it. So I definitely want to talk about um the implications and my observations and stuff. So I will definitely be getting onto that in the spoiler section. But I mean, it was a really cool post credit scene. And I really, really wish that it hadn't been spoiled. Let's see, anything else? Herbie. I liked Herbie. Herbie was great. Just overall, it was a really great movie. I really loved it. Um, it was definitely one of Marvel's best. Like I know people like to say, "Oh, Marvel's back," but like, I hate that. I really hate that Marvel's not dead. I mean, it keep pumping out projects. And at last I checked, when you're dead, you can't be pumping out projects and stuff. So the Marvel is back crowd are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is further proof that Marvel is back." But I mean, where'd they go? They didn't go anywhere. This was just a great time. Marvel knocked it out of the park. Oh, the one more thing, the score. Oh my gosh, this score is iconic. Like I had it in my playlist. Oh my god. Ba-dum bum bum. Like hearing that in the theater was just unlike anything ever. It is one of the best what you'll call it comic book movie scores of all time. I mean, it was great. But yeah, overall the film was great. I really really enjoyed my time, and I'm really excited to see where this team goes into Avengers Doomsday, um, especially since Reed and Doom are they're they're the mortal enemies. So Reed is definitely going to be the main character, or at least he better be, and facing up against Doctor Doom. So it's going to be really interesting to see how, what you call it, how they pull it off, and I'm really excited to see where they go from here. So yeah, that was just my thoughts on the newest Marvel film. Um, something for first steps. And I'm pretty much done with the review, so I could probably say it. Fantastic Four First Steps. There we go. I finally said it. Almost got me, and almost got me, but I managed to hang in there. So thank goodness for that. I think I almost said it twice. I got like fant out, but I stopped myself. So I don't know if that counts. Let me know in the comments if you are watching this far, and if you do, I really appreciate this. I mean, views are down. I'm throwing shit at the wall, seeing what sticks. I don't know. I tried. So yeah, let's see if this does something. I'm gonna finish editing this and get this out in the world. And yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. But I've been the self-described nerd, and I'll catch you guys later.